Hello, I'm Dan Bates and I have the very great honour to be the principal oboe of the Irish Chamber Orchestra, the best orchestra in the world. This is my inside track on my performance of Telemann's Flute Fantasie No. 8 in E minor that I performed at the Fitzrovia Chapel in London. Now, there are a set of 12 flute fantasies that Telemann wrote. They were published around 1730 in Hamburg. Now, interestingly, they were published first as violin pieces. The flute isn't mentioned at all. However, scholars and musicians think that they were written really with the flute in mind because the range of the 12 fantasies very neatly encapsulates the flute's range, which is from bottom D to top E. The violin's range is bigger from G down here to about the same as the flute, maybe in this time about E up here. The other thing that the violin can do, which the flute can't do, is play 2 notes at the same time. In fact, the violin can sometimes play up to 4 notes at the same time because it's 1 note for each string of the violin, like this. Whereas the poor old flute can only play 1 note at a time, like the poor old oboe. So oboe players have sort of stolen these pieces because the range of the Baroque flute suits the range of the modern oboe very well. They're really wonderful pieces. What's so fascinating about them is it's just a line of melody that Telemann writes. There's no accompaniment, there's no harmony, and yet you really get the sense of exactly what he had in his head, how he was harmonizing his own piece. So it's in 3 sections. The first section, it's rather sad and dramatic. It's an allemande. And there's this amazing chromatic moment, which when you play it on the oboe, it sounds like this. But you can imagine how Telemann had it harmonized in his own head. And I think you can really tell what he was thinking just by listening to the melody line by itself. As I say, this piece is in 3 short sections. The first one, very serious, very dour. The second one is sort of a jig, and it's interesting because it's almost written like a fugue with the same theme coming back and back again in different registers and in different keys. And the last section is a very sort of strange. The rhythm is very kind of displaced. It's very difficult to tell what kind of time signature is, if it's a dance or what's going on, really. It's a really wonderful piece, and I hope you enjoy listening to it.